Societies are falling without an end, and neither with no one taking them out. The fire has gotten out of control. We got no water, no bucket, so we're lucky if tomorrow comes. Why is it important anymore? So I like to know that need to know information, but when I know it.
Hello and welcome to tonight's edition of Tuesday Night Throwdown, the Livewire version of it. I am Jason Marks, and we've had a lot happen in the last month of River Region Rasslin, which we will recap tonight, including the last pay-per-view of Fight for Freedom, where River Region Rasslin survived to fight another day, which we also saw a lot of twists and turns and surprises, including the Lone Wolf making his return after a 2-month absence. We will hear from him tonight. We'll also hear from the world champion, Yorkie, who has been on vacation for the last month. Why? We'll talk to him about that. And Smokey, will he invoke his rematch clause to reclaim the World Heavyweight Championship? There's a lot that's going on, and we will get into that as well. But first to the Fight for Freedom last Tuesday night, where it started out with a tag team matchup for the number 1 contender spot. And that was between the Core and between Bad Medicine. The build up to it was Dr. Dewey Cheatham and the Collector winning their respected singles matches over the Core. But in the end, which you could say is due to controversy, where the ref ran into Dewey Cheatham, maybe causing him to fall to the finisher and to be pinned for the 1, 2, 3. The Core moves on to take on the Disciples for the Tag Team Championship. And let's just say, Dr. Dewey, he wasn't really lost for words when it came to the result.
Hello, America. It's your favorite doctor, Dewey Cheatham. And I have a few thoughts in regards to the last month of River Region Rasslin. Mostly to the commissioner, the head of the committee, the senator, Caleb Winters. Now, I don't know what the fuck he was doing the last month, whether he was chasing invisible boogeymen like critical race theory or Antifa, but he has been slacking on the job in the last couple of months. I have been overlooked quite enough, and I am pissed off, but that's not really the main thing that I want to talk about. I'll get to that later. But number 1, Senator, how do you let your world heavyweight champion go on vacation when you have another promotion that is trying to invade it? And number 2, how do you fall asleep at the wheel and let them buy half of the stock? That's on you, Senator. And guess what? Before Remy was able to take out Smokey, well, somebody took him out before that. But guess who took out Remy? Yes, it was me. Because I came to River Region Rasslin not to compete, but to quench my thirst for violence. And I'll tell you this, when that lead pipe connected to Remy's skull, it was satisfying. And now you have looked me over for the last fucking time. And this puts everyone on River Region Rasslin on notice. Be ready, because I could be coming for you. You'll have to grow eyes into the back of your head to watch for me, because I'm coming for you. The doctor is in.
Very strong words by Dr. Dewey Cheatham. Let's see in the next month if he is able to live up to those words. And as he mentioned, Remy from XPVW, who was set to take on Smokey in that big matchup, which is going to decide who was going to take ownership of the promotion. As you heard, Smokey was taken out of that match, which led to the Lone Wolf's return. We'll chat with the Lone Wolf later in the show, and now we are joined by the former World Heavyweight Champion, Smokey. And the first thing I've got to ask is, who attacked you in the back?
Well, I don't know exactly what happened, because it looked like some ninjas going around trying to attack me at the DG dojo, where I was doing my training, getting ready for this Remy guy who, Lone Wolf, good to see you back. How's that arm feeling, buddy? I know I did a little number to it, so hopefully you won't have, maybe it will.
So it looks like River Region Rasslin has lived to fight another day, and now number 1 when it comes to a priority for Smokey has to be getting that World Heavyweight Championship back after losing it to Yorkie just a month ago.
Kind of find it ironic that when I won the River Region Rasslin World Heavyweight Championship, that I was on the show every single week in the ring having a match, while the current champion decides to take a vacation while XB Rasslin. And the one thing that just absolutely amazes me is there was no other champions that could have helped River Region Wrestling because the Senator had his thing with Fletch. So Fletch's U.S. title had to be defended, but there was no world champion or no tag champions. So I had to be one to step up and go to bat for River Region Wrestling.
Very strong words for the World Heavyweight Champion. And anything else you'd like to add? And what would you like to say to the audience watching at home?
It's so nice that the champion was able to get a month off, but you know what? I'm going to do to him what I did to the Lone Wolf, but worse. And Yorkie, my rematch clause, I'm going to the Senator. I've defeated you 2 out of 3 times. So why shouldn't I ask for a 2 out of 3 falls match where I pick a stipulation, you pick a stipulation, and then the Senator picks the stipulation for match 3. If it goes there, which I doubt it will be, because I will take my title back before that third fall.
And there you have it, coming from the self-proclaimed fighter of horrors himself. Smokey, thank you very much for your time, and good luck in the future.
Thank you, Mr. Marks.
Now, the second match of the evening was for the United States Championship, where Fletch had to compete in 3 separate fatal 4-way matches heading up to Fight the Freedom in order to make things a little easy on him. Bulldozer was able to get his first win in River Region Rasslin, and the Big D pulled off the upset to face off with the champ in a triple threat match, which Fletch was able to win via submission. And now on the line with us is the defending United States Heavyweight Champion Fletch, and it was obvious the Senator was pretty perturbed about your little strategy to get the upper edge against Sam Hain to win the United States Championship. He punishes you, but you still come out on top. How does it feel to kind of pull one over on the man? Well, it seems that you're still alive and that you're the United States Champion. Now, Sam Hain has not been around for the last month or so. Are you concerned that maybe he will try to make another run to get that title back?
I just wanna ride my horse.
Very exhilarating, Fletch. Now, it looks like things have calmed down when it comes to the Reapers, as everybody seemed to be on the same page now.
I don't wanna die. I just wanna ride my motorcycle. Cool.
Once again, Fletch, a riveting interview. Thank you very much for your time, and good luck in the future.
Body massage.
Joining us now via Zoom is the lawman himself, William McCarthy, Texas's own, joining the program. And lawman, I got to ask first and foremost, everybody's been looking for Yorkie for the last month, where he conveniently decided to take a vacation in the midst of everything going on. How are you able to track him down?
Jason, you know I can't reveal my sources. Come on now. I mean, you know, that's just how I roll, man. No, it's very simple, very easy. You know, you track his girlfriend down anywhere, and there he is, right there. He's, always attached to her hip. He's, she has him by a leash, literally by at least 2 or 3 leashes, so that he doesn't claw away anywhere. Just call her up, find out which beach he's at, and there you go.
And now, interesting strategy for you to not only go down to the beach where Yorkie is supposedly celebrating his World Heavyweight Championship win, but you go in and attack, and Joe Hunk, myself, and most of the River Region Wrestling world was saying, did he just cash in his right to wrestle briefcase? More of anything, was it just more of the kind of soften up the new champ now to try to get yourself into that world title picture again?
Well, here's the thing. You didn't see the briefcase, so there's no chance I cashed that in. I saw an opportunity there. And for Yorkie to win the title and then take his happy on ass down to the beach to celebrate a month-long vacation down at the beach where he could be up here defending his title week in and week out like every other champion, like, when Fletch had it, when the Lone Wolf had it, even when Smokey had it. Smokey didn't leave for a whole week and everything, for a whole month and all that. But Yorkie decides, you know what? The last time he won the title, he had it for like 5 minutes or maybe 5 days. You know what? I can't count. Remember, people from Texas, we can't count. But anyway, the thing about it is that I need to find him and I need to take him off of his pedestal and say, hey, come back and defend your title like a man, not like some bitch down at the OK Corral.
I see what you did there with the OK Corral reference. Lawman joining us right here on Tuesday Night Throwdown, the call-in edition. The next question I have now is in reference to that Right to Wrestle briefcase. You're kind of being very, very strategic with it. There have been challenges laid out by one Dr. Dewey Cheatham to maybe put it on the line for a world championship, but you've been holding serve. Now that Smokey has already said that he's going to invoke his rematch clause, the Lone Wolf is now back in the picture after he defeated Zoolite to keep River Region Rassling's doors open. Are you just waiting for that right opportunity to cash it in? And is it coming really soon?
Jason, I've been thinking long and hard about what I wanted to do with this briefcase. It's been weeks, it's been months, just trying to figure out what exactly do I want to do? How can I play this? Now with the Lone Wolf back in the picture, I feel like he is one, I think a good friend of mine that I could tell him some things. Maybe he can help me out. I don't know. But I have a plan of what I want to do with this belt. You're not going to see it within the next month or two, but you'll find out. It will be at the least expected time. Now, the one thing that I wanted to say about Dr. Dewey Cheatham and his challenges and XVP, whatever crappy wrestling team, whatever they got, whatever, because I beat the crap out of them at the tag team championships. Well, let's go out back. Let's start there. If I had 3 shitty teammates that, they gave up and laid their asses down for a penny, we could have won that. But me, of course, the lawman had to come in and save the day. Let me just throw that out there. But to Dr. Dewey Cheatham, who thinks he deserves a title shot when no one has seen him for months, and he has to have his brother, the Collector, to come in and help him save the battles, you're not getting a shot at anything unless you do something about it. And 2, Jason, I will put the briefcase up whenever I'm ready to put the title.
Lawman Will McCarthy, you did bring up XPVW, where it looked like the company was in peril. And as you mentioned in the last pay-per-view, Retro Rasslin, that you were a man on your own and a 4-on-1 at one point, very, very, very close to pulling off the miracle, but coming up short. Now, in retrospect, since the Lone Wolf defeated Zoolite and the company keeps its doors open, your thoughts on XPVW and their time when they tried to infiltrate River Region Rasslers?
I'm trying to figure out if Senator Caleb Winters wanted to make an extra buck, like, a certain other owners that I know, particularly one that's in Dallas right now, with some stadium, whatever, that I'm a fan of. God rest his soul. But, if Senator Winters thought it was good for the business to bring in that new brand, cool, whatever, they would have to do the same things that we have done and lay our bodies out on the line and go extreme, in which we have seen that they've done that. But again, the 3 teammates that I've had, the core, whoever they are, some rejects from UAB or whatever, and the Bulldozer, who I'm still trying to figure out how the heck he still has a contract with us. He hasn't done jack crap to still be in here. But if it wasn't for me, we wouldn't even be close. As for our little as River Region Wrestling was up for grabs, I didn't care who was wrestling in it. Me, Yorkie. Actually, no, what could have been Yorkie? He was down at the beach, being a little bitch about it. I don't care if it was Smokey, the Lone Wolf, whoever it was. I knew that we were going to win, and we were going to stay afloat. Now, for XVP to have a 50% in it, that's questionable. And Senator Caleb Winters, me and you are going to have a long talk about it.
The lawman, Willie McCarthy. Thank you very much for your time, and looking forward to a very exciting month to come here in River Region Wrestling. Thanks again.
Hook 'em.
Well, amidst all the chaos in the last month or so in River Region Wrestling, with XPVW almost taking over the company, there was one question that was asked, and where is the World Heavyweight Champion? Well, I am joined by the World Heavyweight Champion of River Region Wrestling right now, and that would be Yorkie. Yorkie, first of all, thank you very much for coming on the program. And first things first, where you been?
Living it up, man. I took a little hiatus. It was needed. Had a long, hard first few months of the year with the whole COVID and everything. Just kind of needed to take a step away and, let things fall into place. And I did not realize that XVPW was going to do what they did. So I apologize for not being there for that to the fans. Or it's not to anybody like Smokey or Fletch or Lone Wolf even, but to the fans, I apologize to you.
And we'll get into Smokey, who had some comments for you in regards to that, and also the return of the Lone Wolf. We will be talking about that, as he is probably, after returning at last week's pay-per-view, he is probably going to come back for what you have right now. But I do have to get back on the vacation thing a little bit with really two questions. Number one, did your vacation get approved by Senator Caleb Winters in the midst of all this madness? Because most people look like, vacation in the middle of a very, very crucial time within the promotion. It's hard to get approved. I mean, hell, I've been trying to get approved for vacation for almost a year. I ain't had no luck, and it's for very small things. But then again, that's me. Did Senator Caleb Winters approve this vacation, and why? How did that come to be?
Well, I wouldn't say he approved it. It was kind of more of a "it's happening" type thing. I am owed this time. I have earned this time. So I made that time happen. I went and visited family, to be honest. That's what it was. I went to visit family. Everything going on and all that stuff. So family comes first in anything. With that being said, to be honest, no, it was not approved. But it happened.
We are joined by the River Region Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, Yorkie. And, well, while you were at the beach, living it up, using your words, you had an unexpected visitor come by to say hello, and that would be the lawman, Will McCarthy. Number one, how was he able to find you? And number two, was he cashing in his briefcase, or is this maybe a ploy for something that's going on? What were your thoughts on that encounter with the lawman at the beach?
To be honest, I don't know what was going on there. I don't know how he found me. I don't know how he knew where I was going. I guess he might have overheard the conversation with, the senator when it happened, when I was having it. And then he decided to, hey, I'm going to, go wreck his vacation. I can't confirm or deny whether he was cashing in or not, because for one, I didn't hear a bell. For two, my pinning, like when I pinned him, it was out of reaction, pure reaction. Because, somebody pins you and you hear a count, what are you going to do? You're going to try and roll pin, get out of it, right?
Right.
So that's why I pinned him. And I guess, the ref did the count and went from there. I don't think it was a cash in. I think he was just trying to get a point across, saying that I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Honestly, that's what I think it was. I think he's just sending a message saying, hey, I'm still here. I still got this briefcase.
Well, being the world heavyweight champion, apparently there's going to be a lot of mind games when it comes to the world heavyweight championship, which you hold right now, where it looked like the lawman may have been playing his mind games, which now the former champion, Smokey, may be playing a little bit of mind games of his own, as he mentioned about where you were an absent champion in the midst of a very crucial time in River Region Rasslin. And also, he wanted to make sure that he pointed this out, that he has beaten you in a 2 out of 3 matches, which how much does that play a toll in your preparation, which he already says he's going to invoke his rematch clause. How much is that holding it over your head, playing in your mind and in your preparation for a potential future rematch?
Honestly, not at all. Reason being is because, he might have won 2 out of 3, but I won when it mattered. I'm always going to win when it matters. I don't care about these little open challenges and these little, you're having to fight this guy. No, I don't care about those. The ones that I care about the most are the ones that count for actual hardware. Hence why I have the actual hardware to back it up. Twice, by the way. I got this one twice, and then I also have the tag team twice with 2 different partners. So I'm not sweating nothing. I'm just ready for the Lone Wolf, to be honest.
Yeah, but finally, the Lone Wolf returning, defeating Zulai from XVPW to keep River Region Wrestling's doors open. First of all, your thoughts on the Lone Wolf's return, and really your thoughts on XVPW and their time in River Region Wrestling, or at least in the spotlight.
I'm going to start off with the XVPW thing because that really got up under my skin. I don't know how their president managed to weasel his way into some shares of Triple R. I do not appreciate that. Caleb, Senator Caleb, I'm pointing fingers at you on that one. That's all you. And with the possibility of buying out River Region Rasslin if we lost is uncalled for. And if I would have been here, I would have been the one in that match. And I would have made sure that none of them would have left the ring. Now, on to Lone Wolf. I'm glad to see you back then. You are a hell of a competitor. You are one of my favorite rivals to have. But I'm just here to tell you, you're not going to beat me. I'm stronger than I was. I still have that Hell in a Cell match in the back of my mind constantly. Nightmare for me. So, once I finish dealing with Smokey and you want a shot at this belt, come on. I'm ready for you.
Yorkie, the River Region Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, with a lot of thoughts, getting to the cutting edge of everything that's been going on in the last month. Yorkie, welcome back. Best of luck in your title reign going forward, and we'll talk to you again next month.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
We're joined by someone who hasn't been in River Region Wrestling for a while, but made his return at Fight for Freedom last Tuesday night. And that would be a former River Region Wrestling champion in the Lone Wolf. And I got to say, it was a big surprise to see you come through the entrance on Sunday night. Did you know anything about the circumstances in regards to Smokey and did you just walk into the arena hoping to make a big splash, and it was almost like the perfect storm?
Well, mainly, first thing you need to know is that thank God whatever happened to Smokey happened, because if he couldn't beat some of the people that he had been beaten by over the course of the last month, Yorkie, plus some of the matches that he's been having, I would honestly probably wouldn't have been coming back to River Region Wrestling, because there wouldn't have been a River Region Wrestling. So don't know what happened to him, but all I do know is that I was very shocked when I got cleared. And the moment that I got cleared and I just happened to be there, it was kind of a, hey, I know you wanted to hold out for a couple more weeks. We wanted to make sure everything was good, but we kind of need you. So, yeah, of course, I did what I needed to do, because obviously I looked around, wanted to say hello to Yorkie. He wasn't there. Wanted to say hello to Sam Hain. He wasn't there. So somebody had to step up when Smokey got laid out.
And the interesting thing, you talk about the injury, and it was a gruesome one at that.
Oh, let's be honest.
Well, I mean, when you have your elbow pretty much halfway up your ass, I had to admit that, I have to think that would be kind of painful.
No, it was painful. And that's also kind of why it gets underneath my skin whenever you have to say former River Region Wrestling champion, because if it hadn't have been for that injury, even with that injury, I still almost pulled off something, which, look, I lost. But the thing that angers me is that I lose, and then Smokey can't even hang on to the title for another month after he beats me. And like his very first title defense, he loses it to Yorkie. And that's the part that sucks, is the fact that I defended this title. I won it last August, and I defended this title for months, beating literally every person that came in contact with me, including Smokey. And then because I break my arm, and that's the reason why I lose it, he can't even hold on to the thing.
Well, now you are being deemed as, you could just say, the savior of River Region Wrestling, as you made your appearance and really put it to Zoo Life, one of the top guys in XPVW that was hanging around. But interesting, during your absence, it seems like a power vacuum has began at River Region Wrestling. You mentioned Yorkie, you mentioned Smokey. The Lawman could be gunning for the world championship, though he's leaving everything kind of vague in regards to which title he's going to go after. You now back in the picture, adding another little wrinkle into the world heavyweight title setup. Smokey says he's going to invoke his rematch clause. Yorkie is supposed to be coming back this month. You are now in the picture. You could have the Lawman, and you could even have other stars that may get into the fold, like a Fletch, like a Dr. Dewey, like a Sam Hain. Just talk about how your absence, and now it just seems that that everybody is become like a magnetized towards that world championship belt. And talk about the journey to climbing back to being the alpha once and for all.
Well, I was really nervous about being gone for the 2 months that I was, because be honest with you, looking around River Region Wrestling, even as the champion, kind of felt at times I was running out of people to challenge, because, it was almost a good thing that XVPW started doing kind of some of the stuff they did, because I thought that maybe that was going to put a little bit more life into just some people in River Region Wrestling to make them up their game. Smokey, again, he loses. Fletch, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. You've got about, let's just say, a month or two to try to win that River Region Wrestling Championship, because basically what I'm going to be doing over the course of the next month or two, look, I'll just lay it out. I'm not going to hide it. I'm not going to act like I'm going to sneak up on anybody or anything like that. Is I'm going to pick and choose when I come back for the River Region Wrestling Championship. And it's not going to be next week. It's not going to be next month. It's not going to be at some point in time. I'm going to pick and choose, because just like Smokey, just like Fletch and Sam Hain and everybody else, I do have my rematch. And I will pick and choose when that time is. The problem is that I was gone for 2 months, and there's still nobody in River Region Rasslin that is bigger than the lone wolf. And that part is what's depressing about this. That part is the reason why I had to come back and fight at Fight for Freedom, because there was nobody else that was going to step through that curtain and be able to do what I did. And you can say Yorkie, but Yorkie was at the beach. You can say Lawman, but apparently he was at the beach. You can say Smokey, but he was laying somewhere unconscious. Fletch was going out and defending his title. Like, he was really the only one that was even there, but there was no way that you could even say it. Fletch and I have an amazing history. It's probably the rivalry of River Region Rasslin. The problem is that, again, I gave everybody 2 months while I was sitting on the couch rehabbing, and nobody has stepped up to try to take my place at the top. There's no reason for me to hold that title right now, because I am the number one person with or without the title. That title is literally around Yorkie's waist because I'm going to allow it to be around Yorkie's waist. It may be around Smokey's waist whenever he tries to win it back, because I allow it. Fletch, the only reason you're the United States champion is because I let go of the title. I could have kept it, but I let go of it. My problem is that right now, 2 months left or 2 months away, and there's still nobody that is the number one except for me. And that's a problem.
So in the 2 months you've been out, according to your words, you were saying that nobody has really stepped up. You've already challenged just about everyone that there is atop, as you mentioned, Smokey, Lawman, Fletch, so on and so forth. Does this mean that you might be opening yourself maybe to some new challenges?
Well, the problem is that sitting back for 2 months and watching everybody that I watched, I was hoping somebody would take that trophy or take whatever thing you want to call, take the bull by the horns or whatever. But nobody did. So now I'm going to have to do it and scout everybody the way that other times other people have had to. So what I'm going to do is I haven't really gotten to take advantage of this new part of River Region Rasslin. So let me just throw it out there. We've got 3 Tuesday night throwdowns until our next pay-per-view. I'm throwing out an open challenge to 3 separate people. Whoever thinks that they can take me down and become the number one person in River Region Rasslin, come get some. Because until this point, nobody has stepped up and shown it. Everybody has been trying to be the best, but even with me out, you were unable to do so. So now you can do it by beating me in that ring. So this is an open challenge. 3 different people, whoever it wants to be, you decide, and I will be out in that ring, and you can come find me there and try to beat me.
The Alpha laying out the challenge to River Region Rasslin. It's going to be interesting to see who takes that challenge on. Lone Wolf, it's good to have you back, my man, and it's good to be back in River Region Rasslin for another week, my friend. Best of luck to you going forward, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you have planned for us.
Well, I say thank you for saying that, but let me emphasize this, and I don't want to get lost in translation whenever we're talking. And I say this because Yorkie, remember, you have that title because I'm allowing you to have that title. Fletch, you have that title because I'm allowing you to have that title. And if I wanted to, I could find another tag team partner, and Yorkie, I could come take the tag team titles off of you. Just remember, I will come for my title. You better hope and pray you're not the one that's holding it when I step into the ring.
Strong words from the Alpha, Lone Wolf. Thanks again, my friend.
Anytime, bro.
And that's going to do it for this edition of Tuesday Night Throwdown. Big thanks to everyone who participated tonight, including Dr. Dewey Cheatham, including Smokey, including the lawman Will McCarthy, Fletch, Yorkie, and also the Lone Wolf. But we're not going to leave you without hearing from the bulldozer himself, as he's going to talk in a very unique way to end the show. For Joe Hunk and all the River Region Rasslin organization, I am Jason Marks saying good night.
Yeah. Tizzle.